Hello there, fellow model makers, and welcome to the first part of my beginner's guide to hand painting model aircraft. I had recently uploaded a complete build video for this aircraft, and as promised, this is a much more detailed video series of the same build. Most of the choices for this build were based on the feedback that I have been receiving from you. For example, many of you wanted to see whether one could hand paint a larger scale kit and what it would look like. So I have chosen Italeri's 148 scale Hawker Hurricane Mark I. Also, this time I will have a crack at the more elaborate RAF scheme. Just a note here, on account of the COVID circuit breaker or lockdown here, I was unable to go and get the exact paints for this scheme. So I dug into the stash and found paints that I felt were close enough to the colors I wanted. This aircraft was flown by the Canadian ace Willie McKnight, who was part of the 242 Squadron. The squadron, mostly comprising Canadian pilots, was led by the legendary Sir Douglas Bader. McKnight had 17 victories to his credit. He was lost on 12th January 1941. He was only 22 years old. Right then, here's the kit. A nice top opening box. I always prefer top opening boxes. It's just easier to access parts kept in them as against a side opening box. The kit number is 2705. Inside the box, black and white instructions, one large bag with all the plastic in it, a photographic reference booklet, very nice touch, the decals, and a tiny photo etch sheet. The first thing to be put together is the cockpit, and straight off you can see that many of the cockpit parts have flash. It may be just a little flash, but it softens the sharp details and so must be cleaned up. Some of the parts are now glued together. Just be a little careful while gluing parts together. Keep in mind that you will have to reach every nook and crevice with the painting brush. So make sure you only glue together parts that will remain accessible. I will be painting the inside of the fuselage halves with the same cockpit color, so these two are cut and cleaned and readied. There are a few ejector pin marks, not really visible, but still it's a good practice to clean them up. I'm using Tamiya's Fine Surface Primer. I'm using a primer only because some of you had asked me to. I myself think that the paint these days is of very high quality and does not really need a primer to stick to the surface. I will be painting the cockpit with Vallejo Air Green Zinc Chrome. Now the million-dollar question, in what ratio should one dilute the paint? Of all the questions, this is the one that has been asked the most. The answer is there is no set ratio. Each brand of paint has a different consistency and as a result, different dilution ratios. Also, paint in bottles stored for some time may be thicker than that in new bottles. So how does one dilute the paint? Well, the best thing to do is to develop a feel for the consistency of the paint. I start by diluting the paint with some water and then applying the lightest of the layers. First, I check to see if the paint has been diluted to my liking. The first layer acts as a binder or a foundation for subsequent layers of paint. But it also gives me a very good idea about how much to dilute this particular paint. As you can see, the paint is really diluted and light. so I know that for the next coat of paint, I could dilute it a little less. What I always look for is to get the paint runny enough so that it self-levels. Having said so, you also have to be very careful to not dilute the paint so much that it starts collecting in pools rather than gripping the surface. Pools of paint will most definitely destroy an even finish. Also, always keep an eye out for bubbles. These must be brushed out of the paint job or they too will spoil the entire coat of paint. And now, I simply apply the first layer of paint and let it dry. This in itself is a very important step. Once the paint is applied, do not keep fiddling with it. With time, the paint will get thicker and hold brush strokes. So apply the paint, brush away any pools or bubbles, even it out and let it be. The second most frequently asked question, how long does one have to wait between coats of paint? Acrylic paint dries very quickly. Even more so when we are applying these super light coats, in a few minutes at most. But I usually wait for about half an hour between coats of paint, just as a matter of precaution and habit. And now, I just keep applying one light coat after another till I get an even coverage, and I'm satisfied with the finish. I apply some of the layers perpendicular to the others, as this seems to result in a better and more even coverage. Time to turn our attention to the control panel. The kit comes with decals of the dials, and I shall be using these. But before that, I need to paint the control panel parts black, and I will do so using this black surface primer. The parts can be hand painted, but using the surface primer really saves up on time. The process was supposed to be simple enough. Just fix the decals and once dry, glue the photo etch plate on top. However, when I fixed the decals and checked, I found that the photo etch plate would not line up properly. Misaligned dials are a glaring mistake and really take away from the realism of the kit. So, I first cut the decals into smaller pieces and tried to align them with the plate. This too did not work. I finally decided to take another route. I first glued the photo etch plate to the control panel. Dry brushed it with some metallic paint, just to add to the realism. To dry brush the part, I first loaded a flat brush with some paint. Then I wiped almost all the paint off the brush. And now, with this dry brush, I went over the control panel. This way, only the details caught the paint. In this case, the edges of the photo etch plate. Finally, I glued each individual dial decal in place. It did take some time, but for me, it was worth the effort. Using a fine-tipped brush, I now paint some of the details in the cockpit. All the parts are now given a coat of gloss varnish. I use this scanned varnish for two reasons. Firstly, it gives a very good finish, and secondly, and more importantly, it really cuts down the time. Once the varnish is dry, it's time to give the parts a wash. There are many ready-made washes available in the market, these Tamiya panel line washes being among the more popular. However, this time I will make a simple oil wash. I just take an oil paint of my liking, I think this brown will be best, and dilute it with some turpentine. The wash is now applied in the cockpit. There are a couple of advantages of using an oil wash. Firstly, it is rather neutral and does not damage the paint or varnish. And secondly, it is very easy to wipe off, which is what I am doing here using only a Q-tip. You don't have to moisten the Q-tip with any spirit or anything, since the oil takes a long time to dry and can simply be wiped off. To add some chipping, I will use the sponge technique. I take some metallic paint. I am using extreme metal steel here and a common kitchen sponge which I have torn into a smaller piece. I load the sponge piece with some paint. Remove the extra paint and then dab the surface I want to add the chipping to. Make sure you remove any extra paint, else you may end up with huge patches of paint rather than fine chipping. Now for the seat belts. The kit comes with these photo etch belts, but I have decided to use these aftermarket ones from Edward. These are actually for a Spitfire, but I think I can make them work on a Hurricane as well. I use PVA glue to fix these in place. These belts are extremely fragile, and anything more aggressive than PVA will melt them. A coat of matte varnish just to dull down the shine and make the cockpit look a little more realistic. Finally, everything can now be glued together and we are done with the cockpit. Right then, fellow model makers. This is about all for this edition of the build. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please do leave a like and do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Till next time, take care, stay safe and happy model making.